Hello, my name's Charlie Patterson. I'm 28 years old and I'm applying for the one-year acting course at the Oxford School of Drama. I've got a reasonable amount of experience in amateur dramatics and local theatre, but no professional experience, and I'm hoping that studying at Oxford will give me the skills that I need to pursue acting as a career. I prepared two monologues, My Liege, I Did Deny No Prisoners from Henry IV Part 1, and a monologue from Lenny from Act 1 of Harold Pinter's The Homecoming. One of the most anxiety-inducing scenes that I've ever seen is from the Safdie brothers film Good Time, starring Robert Pattinson as Connie, who's a kind of a small-time criminal. And he takes his mentally handicapped younger brother with him to rob a bank. And when they're escaping from the bank, a dye pack, a red dye pack in the money bag explodes and covers them both in red paint. And Nick, the younger brother, starts having a panic attack. He thinks he's going blind. And the scene culminates with the two of them in the bathroom of the Domino's, with Connie desperately trying to scrub the red paint from Nick's face, while the manager of the Domino's is banging on the door and threatening to call the police. And Robert Pattinson is just flying through a range of emotions, and he's yelling at his brother, and he's trying to sort of soothe the manager and sort of concoct a story at the same time. He's trying to find a place to hide the money. He's sort of trying to come up with a plan for where they're going to go. And it's every single time that I watch it, it just my heart races, and it's just a combination of brilliant acting and great directing and this low, sort of pulsing, ominous electro score. It's absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite movies.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners. But I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, and breathless and faint, and leaning upon my sword, came there a certain lord, neat and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom, his chin new reaped showed like a stubble land at harvest home. He was perfumed like a milliner, and as the soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly to bring so slovenly, unhandsome course betwixt the wind and his nobility. With many holiday and lady terms, he questioned me, amongst the rest, demanded my prisoners on your majesty's behalf, and I, all smarting with my wounds, being cold to be so pestered by a popinjay, out of grief and impatience, answered neglectingly, I know not what, that he should or he should not, for it made me mad to see him shine so bright, and smell so sweet, and talk so like a wailing gentlewoman of guns and drums and wounds, God save the mark! And that the sovereignest thing on earth was parmacetti for an inward bruise, and how it was such a pity so it was that this villainous saltpeter should be dragged so from the bowels of the harmless earth, which many a good tall fellow had destroyed so cowardly, and that were it not for these vile guns, he would himself have been a soldier. This bald, disjointed chat of his, my liege, I answered indirectly, as I said, and I pray, let not his report come current for an accusation between my love and your high majesty.
One night, not too long ago, down by the docks, I was standing alone under this arch and watching the men jibbing the boom and playing around with the yard arm when a certain lady approached me with a certain proposal. And this lady had been searching for me for days. I mean, she'd lost track of my whereabouts, but in the end, she caught up with me and she made me this proposal. And this proposal was nothing out of the order, you know. I mean, normally I would have subscribed to it. I mean, I would have subscribed to it in the normal course of events. But the trouble was, she was falling apart with the pox. So I said no. But this lady was very insistent, and she started taking liberties with me under the arch. liberties which by no criteria could I be expected to tolerate. So, the facts being what they were, I clumped her. And it did cross my mind at the time to do away with her, to kill her. And the fact of the matter is, as killings go, it would have been a very simple thing. Because her chauffeur, the one who'd located me for her, he'd pop round the corner for a drink. And I was all alone with this lady under the arch, watching the steamer steaming up and no one around, and all quiet on the Western Front. And she was just standing there against the wall. Well, sliding slowly down the wall as a result of the blow that I'd given her, and to sum up, it was very much in my favour for a killing. Because don't worry about the chauffeur, because he would never have spoken, because he's an old friend of the family. But in the end, I thought, why go to the bother? Moving the corpse and putting yourself in that state of tension. So I gave her another belt on the nose and a couple more turns of the boot, and I left it at that. How did I know she was diseased? I decided that she was.